Hello everyone, MFPallytime here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're taking our first look at Zeraora, or as I've been calling him, Thundercat. He is a very aggressive, high damage, really combo focused character. And in today's video, I'll at least give you the basics to get up and going in a match so you understand the baseline of the character. If we take a look at his overview, you'll notice mobility and offense are his highest scores, and I would certainly agree with this one. If we move into the move descriptions, both Volt Switch and Spark are both damaging abilities that are based on movement. So even when you're just doing your normal rotation, you're going to be dashing all around the screen. Out of these two options, I think I prefer Volt Switch. What it does is have the user perform a high-speed dash, dealing damage to any opposing Pokemon that it attacks on the way. You basically have a point at which you can return to, so you dash forward, and if you reactivate the ability, you return to the original dash point, dealing damage in both directions. Once you hit level 8, you'll be able to pick between Discharge or Wild Charge. I do think that Discharge is easier. What it does is basically put a ring of electricity around your character, and as long as you keep it on an enemy, it's going to be dealing damage. However, Wild Charge is certainly flashy. What it does is it allows you to dash to a hero, and then you basically do, I'm going to give a few examples. The Master Yi slash in the air, the Juggernaut slash in the air, or the Karazim seven-sided strike. You become immune to damage for a short time, do a combo to the target that you hit, and then land back on the ground. So there's a really cool synergy between Volt Switch and Wild Charge. You can dash in with Volt Switch, deal damage while you dash in, then do Wild Charge, knock them up into the air, do all your stuff, but then return to safely immediately after by returning to the original location of the Volt Switch. This allows you to cover a lot of ground, deal a lot of damage, but then get yourself back to safety just as easily. Important thing to note here, the text at the end of the paragraph: if the user hits an opposing Pokemon with Volt Switch, Spark, or a boosted attack before using this move, the combo is increased. Pay very important attention to that. When Unite first came out, a lot of people were saying that Zeraora was way too strong. I believe since then he's been nerfed a couple times. I think he's in a pretty good spot right now. I've had a lot of fun just picking him up and trying him in a few matches, although I'm certainly no expert here, as I'm going to say a lot, I am sure. His damage is really good, his clear speed in the jungle is really good, and I'll probably be jungling today. And before I forget, my held items are the Float Stone, the Muscle Band, and I'm trying out the Assault Vest. Because he's really squishy, the Assault Vest is going to give us a little shield when we're out of combat, give us a little more HP just passively as well, to hopefully make it so we don't get burst down right away. It's only level 10. I haven't spent a lot of currency leveling this one up. As you can see, I'm kind of out, but we can at least see if we like this, moving forward. All right, 10 minutes on the clock, and our first game of Zeraora is underway. Now, luckily for me, everyone in this game actually called their lane, so I'm going to be taking the central lane. I'm sure a lot of you are surprised. I slotted in Slash as our first ability, and one thing you may notice is that Thundercat's clear speed is actually really good. I'm not using the Fluffy Tail in today's match just because I wanted to try out the eject button. I am certainly no expert with this character, so the eject button is just going to allow me to get myself out of trouble a little bit easier. The next minion that I kill is based on which lane is pushed up the most. It looks like bottom is doing just fine. Top's having a hard time. So I'm going to kill this minion first, then cycle up top to get level 5, kill this minion, and then the idea was to gank their lane. However, it seems like they're actually totally fine, so we can keep farming. The way I like to play this character is very combo oriented. There are some setups that kind of focus on just getting in and dealing sustained damage a little bit more. That's not really what I am going for today. Decent damage on the enemy team's Frog. We're going to agility forward here, but the auto attack from Pikachu does catch us as we are flying away. The auto that could. Top lane did look like it was having some trouble. I don't know if they had 3 top or if their jungler was just rotating up there, but we're going to keep that in mind. It is time to get our jungle buffs again, however, and we need to make sure that we are prioritizing this throughout the course of the entire match, not just the first spawn of these enemies. I really enjoy his clear speed. As you guys may know, I play a lot of Machamp. We have a few videos about it, and I've spent a lot of time streaming some jungle Machamp. However, the clear speed of Thundercat is really good. Something I could get used to. We're going to pick up Volt Switch at level 6. Volt Switch is going to allow us to dash forward and then return to that location later. We're mostly using this for our engage. It's going to allow us to jump towards our enemy, hopefully deal a lot of damage, and then jump back to safety. We do see Vulpix on the turn in right now. Did she see me? It does. Oh, but her trait did. Her passive did. Let's get a slash on her as she's trying to run back. Volt forward and then backwards to deal damage both ways. That was really quick. All I did was double tap the key, basically. And that's going to be our first turn in the game. 21 in the bottom lane and enough to break down the first hoop down here. Very nicely done by this team. At the 7-minute mark, that is when Dreadnought spawns down here. It's very important that we control this. If there's one bit of information I can impart on you guys that are maybe new to the game, this is the biggest objective during the match. This gives your team a ton of XP. I mean, it's a couple free levels usually when you pick this up. And if you're right on top of it when this thing spawns, you can actually get this 3 times during a match. We're going to go for Wild Charge on our second ability. And I do think this setup is a little more difficult, but now our combo becomes dash in, hopefully hitting someone with our Volt Switch. So here we go. And then jumping into the Wild Charge. If we land an empowered auto attack or hit someone with the Volt Switch, our Wild Charge is going to do that extra attack that we need to really clear stuff quickly. But we can go into the jungle like this and be super aggressive versus this enemy team because, or at least I thought I could be. That didn't quite go as well as I wanted. I was going to say, because I have the eject button to get myself out to safety if we need it. But Vulpix always has a plan of her own. I think Vulpix is one of the scariest characters in this game. I'm not going to lie. So now we can Wild Charge in on our neutral camps. Again, we want to hit them with an empowered auto attack or that Volt Switch first, just to get that extra DPS out. One really nice thing about this setup is that when Wild Charge is active, while we're zooming around in the air, we are, of course, immune to damage during that window, which is super duper nice to be able to jump into a team fight or at least a little scuffle and beat up guys pretty well. The robot is up in the top lane. No team has gathered it, but our entire team is up here, so maybe that's something that they're interested in doing soon. We're going to jump in on the enemy team's Greninja, actually missing because of the smoke on the ground. That turn-in is going to buy me a little bit of time with Soccer Bunny moving up on the back end. I was actually worried about my well-being. That Wild Charge does hit. Greninja's taken down, and it looks like we're going to turn in enough to get this hoop down. Now, again, where do I need to be? Bottom lane is the most important lane. I'm going to be a few seconds late, but I am on my way right now. The friendly Greninja potentially already in position, but it looks like he's moving away. Now, no, coming back. We have a really good friendly push for this objective right now. Just going to do a quick check, make sure no one is around, at least at the start. And again, Wild Charge. If I knew the timings of this enemy a little bit better, what we could do is try to use that Wild Charge specifically when Dreadnought is doing that knockup that can damage us. But it's okay to do exactly what we just did. A lot of balls on the ground. Not sure who died, but I'll take him. Wild Charge into the enemy team's Greninja to take him down. We're going to dash forward. Not going to use my ultimate here. We're going to hold on to it for just a little bit longer. As the friendly team is moving up, the enemy Charizard trying to hold the line. We sneak in 33 behind his back as he's forced out by the Pikachu ultimate. And now we have 4 minutes remaining in this match. The enemy team did manage to take our top hoop. There's not a lot of farm for me to get right now, but I do want to go back for my jungle buffs. However, it looks like there is a scuffle on the right side of the map, and it looks like someone's taking my red buff, but red buff is the one that is probably least important for me. Blue is the one that we need. What you just saw there was the very small hit detection on our wild charge. It is super tiny. A lot of times when I was just getting used to pressing these buttons, I was missing that ability quite a lot. It's pretty hard to hit. We're gonna blink forward with the eject button and then hit the wild charge on the enemy team Soccer Bunny as they are trying to run away. We have double buffs, 26 to turn in. I think I might be able to sneak one in here. Nope. Nope, can't sneak anything. Can't sneak anything. Trying to totally disengage. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. If we can break line of sight here, he at least can't attack me for a second. Although it looks like Soccer Bunny is chasing after us as well. We dash away one more time to safety. I need backup. Although Dreadnought on the bottom of the map, we might need to just head down there to our team. It looks like whatever chase was happening up here has totally ended. I'm heading to the bottom path. Dreadnought is up right now, and we only have 30 seconds to kill it. After that 30-second mark, he is going to disappear and not come back for the rest of the game. Soccer Bunny and whoever else is up top is getting a turn in right now. I'm going to start this, and hopefully my team joins me. And again, you saw, I did it. I did the wild charge during the stun. We totally avoided it. Feels good, man. Feels real good. The team doesn't seem to be joining me super fast for this one, and the guy who did brought a Vulpix friend that I don't want anything to do with. We land a very big lightning ultimate on them as they're moving forward. Volt switch in, and that's enough to take down the two targets that were the biggest threat to me. We're then going to wild charge on top of the enemy's Greninja, and now I have 50 to turn in right in front of their base. I don't think I'll be able to do that. Don't think I'll be able to do that at all. But it was at least worth posturing for. Zapdos is up. The enemy Soccer Bunny might be heading towards it, but I'm going to head back for full health and then jump back in towards their side of the map. 1 minute, 30 seconds left in this match. Pikachu up in the top lane trying to turn in a little something right now. Our Vulpix is on the prowl and doesn't even need me to finish him off. I have a little more than a minute to decide if I'm going to try to push in and turn in or if we go for Zapdos. Zapdos could lose us the game at this point. A lot of people forget that. Zapdos is risky as fuck. I don't quite have my ultimate ability. Charizard is using his. Once that's over, I could try to go in, but I missed the wild charge. We could have Volt switched back to our original location. I think that would have been okay. Wild charging through the ultimate of Soccer Bunny, trying to avoid that damage, but unfortunately, we are taken down. Greninja for the friendly team coming down to the bottom lane, and he meets the same fate as us. Now, this means the enemy team could potentially turn in a lot of points here, and we are seeing that happening. But Vulpix in position is going to get the double kill right as they were going for that turn-in. Nicely done. Nicely done. Our Wigglytuff looking for a turn in here is going to pop her ultimate to become unstoppable. At least I think that's her ultimate. And with that, 100 points turned in at the last moment. Even though Charizard was attacking her, she was unstoppable for that turn in. The final score of the game is going to be 612 to 196, making us the victors. And without even taking Zapdos, sometimes map control is all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. We did manage to turn in 85 balls, which is on the low side. 7 kills, 4 assists, and we got a 73 overall score. Like I said, I'm certainly no expert with this character. With our first look series, all I'm trying to do is introduce you to some ideas about the character, and then we can go back later and really get a better understanding, grind it out. I would say I've played maybe 5 games with Thundercat, and I'm just in the beginning process of getting to understand it. Where Soccer Bunny, last episode, my God, I've played a lot of games. I had a lot of games under my belt before we even made a video about that character. Went over to the battle records so you guys could see the stats for the match. We did 40,000 damage dealt, 28,000 damage taken, and 17,000 health recovered. Now, being in the jungle and farming a lot, I wasn't really expecting to have high damage, but when we were able to get into those engagements, we were able to burst down so many targets. It's such a fun play style, although it does take some practice because those skill shots are very, very narrow. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with a look at another character inside of Pokemon Unite. Take care, and I'll see you guys again soon.